It's nice and quiet here. Thank you for the invitation. This place is completely different from Snezhnaya. It's so warm that it almost feels a bit alien. No. The breeze and the sun are gentle and cozy, a rare sight in my hometown. It's as though my body, which was just immersed in cold water, has suddenly been plunged into hot water instead. I like the feeling, but it takes some getting used to. Perhaps I'll need to take it slow. Thanks. If there's still time after my daily training and ballet rehearsals, I'll visit more often. Yes. The breeze and the sun are gentle and cozy. Sure. What about? Yeah. Or rather, I'm more used to settings like fan meet and greets or theater open houses. People ask, I answer. Things are a bit busy right now, but it's not entirely unmanageable. I don't want to let others down, much less compromise on my own goals. So being a little busy is neither here nor there. Most of the time, it's just a bit of mental fatigue. But my physical sensations are manageable. Pain has no real effect on me. It's perfectly fine. My schedule includes breaks, too. When I sleep at night. And right now, chatting with you also counts as a break, too. Something interesting? Well, there was one thing that happened when I was a child. My father secretly took me to see my mother's performance, and after the curtain call, he led me to the dressing room to surprise her. I loved the smile she had on her face, and I loved that my father would prepare such special surprises for her. So, I followed his example and secretly began preparing a gift for my mother too. I found a film recording of a ballet at home, and while they were out, I followed along, learning the moves bit by bit. Finally, one day, I felt I could almost complete the routine, so I called my parents over to witness that moment. What I didn't know at the time was that the film was mirrored, so I learned the moves completely backwards. Very much so. It was an even bigger success than my father's surprise operation that same day. Those truly were happy days. I'd like you to critique my dancing. Please be completely honest. Sorry, I didn't make myself clear. What I want is feedback from the people around me, rather than fans. From ordinary audience members, rather than professional dancers. Listening only to the applause from below the stage can cloud your judgment. At the same time, a professional's perspective, like my mother's, often focuses more on the form and difficulty of the action. I need to hear more diverse opinions to broaden my horizons. Your feedback will be closer to an actual viewing experience, and your suggestions will be based on your own emotions and aesthetic standards, reflecting your personal ideals. I admit to being a bit curious about those. You've seen a lot, so I trust your judgment. I'll take whatever you say as motivation to keep pushing on. Of course. Let me know when you're ready. I can start anytime. That's okay. I'll reflect on your comments and aim to impress you next time. Of course. Good morning. We have a lot planned today, so it's time to get going. Good night. I'll go to sleep once I've cleared everything on my schedule.
I had no idea Liyue's adeptal arts had such practical uses. Are these landscapes really carved? Not even the master artisans in Sviet-Lulaidovka possess such skill. There's no such thing as getting used to a place for me, I'm afraid. Anyone who gets picky with a roof over their heads would never survive out in the snowfields. But I'd say that out of all the shelters I've seen, this is definitely the best one. Thanks for having me. Well, before your abode, the best spot I can remember staying at was a VIP box at the theater. I was working part-time at the theater troupe, so I used Odette's connections to score a gig as a night watchman. Once everyone had left the theater, I'd take Tugarin to the most expensive VIP box and sleep soundly until dawn. That's just how the rich city folk live. Even a place to watch a show is built for such comfort. But at the same time, people are freezing in villages out on the tundra. It's not the way this nation should be. Ha ha. You're pulling my leg, aren't you? As for my dream, we'll start by making sure that no one freezes. That's definitely doable. I knew you'd understand. Some shiver in winter's jaws, while wealthy showgoers lounge in seats so comfortable you could sleep in them. This is no way to run a country. Ha ha. Sure. Speaking of which, I've encountered some pretty strange things recently, and I'd love to get your opinion on them. I really like Genius Invocation TCG, but the Rokot is so full of experts, I always lose more than I win. But whenever those experts who beat me play against someone else, they usually lose terribly. So, am I somehow draining my opponent's luck? You mean they beat me too easily and then underestimated their opponents? How could that be? I carefully organized my deck and put a lot of thinking into my strategy for every match. Anyone who's beaten me must be a really formidable card player. The only possible alternative is that my skills were never that good to begin with. But surely that can't be true. It's all right. I've played enough games now to get a sense for what the answer might be. But I just can't let it go. I'll play anyone, anywhere, whenever I get the chance. Since joining the Rokot, it's practically been my only form of entertainment. The more pragmatic a person is, the harder they work, spending all day on serious matters. People like that hardly have a life of their own. So, when I discovered Genius Invocation TCG, something I could use to pass the time, I was hooked almost instantly. But perhaps that's for the best. I believe Snezhnaya will change one day. The Rokot won't need to exist forever. And when the day comes that I can truly relax, at least I'll have a hobby to pass the time. Sure. I'd like to set up a workbench here too, so I can maintain my hunting rifle whenever I'm here. Of course. Haven't you heard? They say that weapons have emotions too. Regular maintenance keeps them happy, which can be a matter of life and death in critical moments. In that case, let me share my personal experience. One time, I went to take out a band of highwaymen, but I was a beat too slow, and their lookout aimed his gun at me first. But what do you know? His gun jammed, so I just shot and took him down. While cleaning up the scene, I made a point to check his gun. The poor maintenance showed. Way too much dust in the chamber, and the bolt was a bit misaligned. All in all, not what I'd call a happy gun. Yeah, Mitya told me the same thing, and then started throwing around technical terms like gunpowder combustion efficiency and mechanical reliability. Way too complicated. I prefer the idea that weapons have emotions. Morning, traveler. Come to think of it, I rarely sleep this soundly. I suppose that's how you know we're not out in Snezhnaya's wildernesses anymore. No wild beasts prowling at night, no bandits striking under the cover of darkness. After living like that for so long, I really don't know if this is good or bad. Get some rest. As for me, I still need to figure out how to settle Tugarin down, so he doesn't tear the bed you prepared apart.
这里很清静，谢谢你的邀请。这里和冰雪筑成的至冬完全不一样，温暖的让人不太适应。风和日轩，是个很温馨惬意的地方。在我的家乡很少能有这样的感觉，就好像让刚刚接触过冷水的身体突然泡进热水里一样。喜欢，却没有办法立即适应。我想或许需要慢慢来。谢谢。完成日常训练和芭蕾排练之后，还有时间的话，我会多来拜访的。
没想到璃月的仙术还有这么便利的用法，这些山水真的是被雕刻出来的。采冰镇的师傅们都没有这么好的手艺。对于我来说，可没有住的习不习惯这种说法，有个落脚的地方还挑挑拣拣的，这样的人可没法在雪原上生存下来。不过话说回来，在我使用过的落脚点里面，这里肯定是最好的那一个。谢谢招待。这个嘛，来这里之前，我印象中住过的最好的地方，是剧院的贵宾包间。那段时间我在剧团打工，就托奥黛塔的关系，搞了个巡夜人的差事。等剧院的人都走光了，我就带着涂嘉玲去最贵的那个贵宾包间，每每睡到天亮。你果然明白。有的人正在挨冻，有的人却连看戏都要去那种舒服到打瞌睡的地方。这个国家不该是这样。你在和我开玩笑对吧？我的理想嘛，先保证所有人都不挨冻吧，这个肯定是可以实现的。